Hi, this is Mike O'Shea. This is the home page of my English 4 learning site. This will be my LMS that I will be using for the year in Instructional English 4. I finally decided on my navigation. As you can see, I have a sub-site here for every unit. First, I'm going to go look at Unit 1B just to see some of the changes that I've made here. For our moment in a novel assessment at the end of the unit, I decided to go with a blend space. I just like the way blend space sets up things. I think it's great for assessments that use multiple different documents. This is the blend space for my moment in the novel. It takes the students through the assignment sheet, planning, pre-writing. Again, we have links to MLA help, paper rater. With this, we decided to do something different. It's a group reflection. They're going to read each other's papers and then reflect the second half of class. This is a new assessment I have created. It's become part of the summative assessment, but this is a formative presentation assessment. Throughout the school year, I'm doing some research on students' presentation skills. So slowly, we're trying to build these skills. In the beginning of this unit, they gave an office mix presentation. So here they have another short, it's a minute-long presentation about their moment from the novel. Two ways they can do it. They can use an office mix, or they can use standard presentation where they make their slides and they present. The formative rubric, very small, very quick, just giving them some basic formative feedback on their presentation. Now we have the unit site for 2A, set up very similar to our first unit, 1A, which was writing. Basically, the whole unit revolves around one writing assignment. This unit's very similar. So for this unit, I also created a blend space, again with the writing. I just like the way the blend space flows when you're using multiple documents to create that final essay. Within this blend space, you can see we have all the documents, a lot of links that will help the students write this paper. Go step by step. First we start with our room for debate assignment sheet. We have this little formative assessment I created. It's kind of like an introduction activity to find their topic. With my instructional class, we will use the room for debate site. This just takes them step by step through, looking for things they're interested in, and then they're going to fill out this little formative assessment, which again will lead into them writing their paper. And then we have our link to the room for debate page, our planning template. We have our they say, I say argumentative templates that will help them argue in their paper. We have information on rebuttals, again, MLA checklist specifically for this paper. And then again, when they find issues, they have their MLA help. Two different types of MLA help. We have Purdue OWL, and then we have our office mix. Then again, we'll do a peer review, and they'll put their paper through paper reader. Here we have our Unit 2B site. This is where we will read Shakespeare's Macbeth. Very similar to our other reading unit, the setup. We have our unit plan listed out, all the major things we're going to do in our unit. We have a Shakespeare intro, which is, if you click on it, it takes you to a office mix. Here's our intro to Shakespeare in the Elizabethan times. Just a basic mix. Takes them through Shakespeare's phrases. We go through all kinds of things about Shakespeare's childhood. There's questions mixed in here. So kind of just an intro, make sure they know who he is. And then the last part of it is we talk a little bit about setting up the story of. We also do a film study intro. It's a PowerPoint that I go through. They will have a note sheet in Google Docs. Definitely a small formative assessment, not a major formative assessment. We will also be reading Macbeth in Actively Learn. I've uploaded No Fear Shakespeare Actively Learn. They sign up, put in the class code, they get their own copy where they can take notes and they answer questions. This is the Macbeth Actively Learn document. Students will read through this document. At the end of every page, they have questions. They will click on the questions, answer them, and then I'm able to see the results. If you look, there's a question summary we can click on. This will show us all the questions for Act 1 that the students will need to answer. So they will answer questions as they read. Again, it's an instructional class, so I've decided to go with the No Fear Shakespeare, where on one side we'll be reading the original text, but they also have the modern text to reference. Also, they have the ability to highlight, insert notes. I can also insert links. I haven't done that yet. I have completed the questions, but I think Actively Learn will be an interactive way to read. Also, you get that formative assessment right away as we're reading. And this unit wraps up with the Shakespeare Compare and Contrast assignment. This is another assignment where I decided to use Blendspace. The Compare and Contrast assignment revolves around film clips from different films of Macbeth that the students will be comparing and contrasting in groups. We have the assignment sheet, the group planning sheet. These links take the students directly to the sheets in our Google Drive. When they click on them, they can open them and then move them to their own personal folder. They will be in groups, so we have a section for each group. Group 1 opens their section. They have direct links to the clips. So Group 1 is responsible for version 1 and version 2 of the Outdam Spot scene. That's Act 5, Scene 1 of Macbeth. These are the two clips that they will be comparing and contrasting. And at the end, we have a presentation checklist to make sure they have everything they need. At this point, I'm very comfortable with the setup of my learning management system. I think it flows well for the kids. They're going to learn several new things this year. Overall, I think it's definitely something I can keep building on. It's been a great experience.